Good morning and welcome to another Friday reading vlog from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I am inundated with the most painful spots. One there, one there, one there. I don't know why, so it's sore. Friday reading vlog today. We're going out, guys. We're going out for a walk to Knole Park with Jen Campbell. We've finally done it. When I started these reading vlogs, I was like, these are going to be called roving reading vlogs and we're going to be out and about and I'm going to be doing this. And then I went on holiday and I did one. And then since then, they've just been in the house, which is lovely. And I love to do them in the house and I love to sort of involve you in my Friday reading day. But I'm excited that this week we're going for a walk to Knole Park and it's going to be beautiful. So I'm out. Other matter is I haven't got any trousers on because I slept in a t-shirt and knickers last night. But what I've got to do is I've got to wrap Jen's birthday present. Now, people who watch Jen's channel think, that's a bit early. Jen's birthday's in January. Well, let me tell you, it's not early, it's late. I'm a terrible friend. Don't be friends with me. I'm awful with presents, but don't worry, you will get a present at some point, but it just will be literally 4 months late. Even more frustrating is that I bought this in November. I bought this when I went to the board game cafe for my birthday in November. So I've had it for over 6 months. And look, it's so postable. It is literally the most postable thing ever. This is an escape room in an envelope. It's 4 difficulty out of 5, which, because I know Jen is an old hand at doing these. And I hope she really enjoys it. So I'm going to wrap it now. Write in a card. We've changed from a birthday card to just a I'm sorry, you're only just getting your birthday present now card. And yeah, then I'm going to get changed and then I'm going to pick all the bits for today. Now, we're not going to need many books for today. I'm reading the book. Oh, I'm really enjoying it. I'm only a few pages in and it's not even a long one, but I am really enjoying it. So I'm going to take that along with me and then I'll show you the 2 audio books that I'm listening to because it's quite a drive. Knole Park from where I live. So I will take those and I'll talk about those. But we're also going to pick the question. I'm hoping maybe Jen will answer the question with me if I remember. I've said that before and it hasn't happened. Not about Jen, about somebody else I was with. And yeah, you can come along for the walk, see what we're up to, see how Jen is. I think it's going to be lovely. The bank holiday weekend here. She stuck all that to her face. Bank holiday weekend here in the UK. So today's just the beginning of a fun weekend. But yeah, I'll see you. Oh, last thing, David had to sleep on the sofa last night. Our bed's broken. On David's side of the bed, the frame which holds the slats has come away from the wood. We don't think it's fixable, but we're going to ask my dad because he is the man who, if there's anyone who can fix it, my dad can. Because I don't really want David sleeping on the sofa every night. Well, we'll have to order a new bed frame, and annoyingly, the bed frame we've got from IKEA, which is fantastic for storage. It's got storage in the headboard, it's got storage underneath. I don't think they sell it anymore, which is really annoying. I'll have to have a proper check at the website. But yeah, we hope we can fix it. We hope. Yeah, I'll see you when I'm changed. I'm ready and slumped for my big walk. Right, so we need to pick, I don't know how much difference that made, but here we are. So, I haven't taken you over to the books. They're here. I've already picked the book I'm reading today because, like I said, a lot of the day is going to be walking with my pal. I don't know how much time I'm going to get to actually read actual book. So I've got one book, which I'm reading and very much enjoying it, and then I've got 2 audio books that I'm going to listen to on the way there and the way back. So we'll start with the actual book that I'm reading. So I'm reading Idle Burning by Rin Usami. I recently read I'm a Fan by Sheena Patel and loved it. We were reading it and discussing it at Patreon Book Club. It was very, very divisive. Lots of people did not love it. But somebody there mentioned that I might enjoy Idle Burning. Now, I'd also heard recently on What Page Are You On podcast, I can't remember whether it was Alice or Bethany that said it, but somebody said that this was their favourite, one of their favourite books from last year. So, and I knew I had it on the shelf and I was like, perfect. So those two have sort of come together and merged. And yeah, I'm 40 pages in and I'm absolutely
really into it. It's about, we're following a young girl who has an obsession with a boy in a boy band. She calls him my Oshi, which means my idol, and recently he has hit a fan, and as in a fan of his, not a fan blowing air around the room. And the girl we're following is obsessed with him and is a massive fan of him, and she sort of buys 3 of every sort of output he puts, like 3 of all DVDs, 3 of all CDs, 1 to keep, 1 to lend out, and 1 to watch. And she writes blog posts about him, and then people are sort of coming to her saying, oh, why do you think he did this? And she's sort of like considered the expert on this person. But yeah, I'm really into it. And I'm enjoying it a lot. So I'm going to take that with me, but like I said, I don't know how much time there will be for actual reading. The 2 audiobooks I'm listening to, so one is the audiobook for the book that I started last week when I was doing this reading vlog, which was In the Blink of an Eye by Joe Callahan. I started reading that, but then the book itself had to go back to the library. Here it is, same front cover. So I thought, well, I'd carry on with the audiobook, and I'm actually enjoying the audiobook a lot. I was enjoying the book anyway. Like I said, the writing itself was a bit like really telling you what was going on in like short sentences. I think they had a lot of information to fit in the first sort of few chapters to sort of set the scene before they got into the actual purpose of the novel, which was to discuss AI being used elsewhere. But it's also like there's other stuff in there about racism and institutional racism within the police force and stuff like that. I'm finding it interesting and gripped by it as well. So yeah, I will continue with that. I've got 5 hours and 4 minutes left of that. And then for my book club that I do with my pals, we're reading the Phone Box at the Edge of the World, which looks like this, and that's by Laura Imai Messina. This is only short, and I've only got 2 hours 50 left of this. It's hard to say this because it's about such a, so it's got a lot to do with grief and loss of a child, loss of a mother. There's stuff in there about the tsunami, but oh god, and as she says this feels so awful, but I'm finding it very boring, which is an awful thing to say because the topic it's on is intense. But yeah, I'm finding it, in fact, when I first started listening to it, it sounds to me a lot like one of those sleep stories. You know, you get those sleep stories that you can put on. I follow a Jamie Dornan one on Audible, and just, it is very sort of like soothing, relaxing, the narrator. But yeah, I will get there. I'm very, well, I mean, I can't help it, but the last few books we had for my book club that I run with my pals, I haven't enjoyed any of them. So I'm really hoping, and I feel like I'm a right miserable little biatch on there at the moment, being like, no, actually I didn't enjoy this either. So I'm hoping at some point there will be a book that breaks the chain of me not enjoying the books that we're reading for book club. Anyway, let's move on. So there'll be a poem at the end of the day, obviously, from Poem for Every Spring Day. That'll be when I get home. So not only am I going for a walk with Jen today, David and I are going to the cinema tonight to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You will have heard me on this very reading vlog, in fact, talk about how I'm sort of bored by, or fatigued, I think I used the word, by the Marvel Cinematic Universe. David loves the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And if I've been entertained, Guardians of the Galaxy usually are the sort of entertaining films. Also, Chris Pratt, whilst having a lot of views that do not align with my own, he is so handsome, isn't he? Isn't he though? And I've seen the trailer and he's even more handsome in this one, which you wouldn't even think was possible, but he's achieved it. So let's read the question, and then, oh goodness me, I'm going to take it with me, and if I get a chance, we're really halfway through these questions now, so I find it hard to work out which ones. Are these the ones we haven't done? Yeah, these are the ones we haven't done. So I'm going to take I'm going to take this question with me, and if I get a chance, I will ask Jen her answer to this question as well. So here we go. We're still shuffling. I'm still not very good at shuffling these. Okay. Moby Dick. That's a big book, isn't it? I wonder if it's a book about big, I wonder if it's a question about big books. Do you finish every book you start? What makes you stop reading a book? Do you finish every book you start? What makes you stop reading a book? So have a little think about that. I'll answer it at the end. if I remember, I'll ask Jen to answer it while we're away, while we're out walking. I'm popping it in there so I don't forget. And then the reading challenge, again, like I said last week, we're at the point now where I have to pick my reading to match these reading challenges because there's not so much. But like I said, I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm reading a book about, that's a translated book, but I don't think there's anything on here about translated. There is a chance we'll be going to a bookshop today. Let's have a look. Read in a place you've never read before. If I get a chance to read today, I've never been to Knole Park before. Read a book you selected, no. There is one here for the bookstore saying go to your favourite section of the library or bookstore, blindly take a book off the shelf and take it home to read. If I'm doing that though, I'd rather do that at the library because that could potentially be a bit of a waste of money, couldn't it? Yeah, so the only one I've potentially got is read in a place you've never read before because like I said, I've never read in Knole Park before. I've never been to Knole Park before. So that could potentially happen if I get a chance to read. We'll report on that later. Anyway, better get on the way. Yep, gotta go now. See you there, bye. I'm here and I'm just waiting for Jen to catch me up. I'm in the car park. Well, I had heard that there were deer here and it was sort of like the deer park, but I thought it would be a case of sort of like going along and being like, oh, are we gonna see any deer today? Well, literally, I drove through the gates, 2 deer there, and now I'm parked and there's 4 here. They're very peaceful little animals. They're just having a little munch. I'll show you, hold on. Here they are. Look. They're actually, this looks like they're really far away, but they're not. I didn't realise I'd be so close to the guys. I'm not even in there yet. This is just in the car park, guys. I suppose it's a lot quieter today than normal. All the birds. We found the beautiful bluebells.
It's
And
hi.
but we think this is particularly beautiful because it is fenced off. Nature has to be fenced off these days to remain beautiful.
All right.
It's not coming up as lovely as it looks. I'm gonna have a little zoom in. It's very purpley beautiful. But yeah.
You know what this place is called, Rowan?
What?
One Tree Hill.
Oh, is it? I never watched One Tree Hill when I was
didn't
younger. Let's have a little walk around and see what the angles are like. And then this beautiful view also. And this beautiful view also. That's you being my beautiful view. This is so lovely. I love it when you see like these little bluebells that the seeds have thrown a little bit and they're just going into the field a little bit. There's a few of those in my car park. I don't love this so much, but we'll risk it. Oh God, oh God. Jen's here to answer, well, maybe not answer. You can answer it a bit later if you'd like a bit of thinking time.
I'm here to hear it.
But I did promise earlier when I picked this question that I would try and remember to ask you. Tickly throat. So, the question I picked earlier, Moby Dick, and I thought, oh God, it's going to be about long books.
It's about whales.
Do you finish every book you start? What makes you stop reading a book?
Absolutely not.
You absolutely don't finish. Are you happy to answer now? Would you like a bit of thinking time?
No, I'm happy to answer.
Absolutely not. Do not finish every book you start.
I used to be more precious about it.
Yeah.
And I used to feel like I couldn't have an opinion on a book if I hadn't finished it. And I don't think that's true. I agree you can't have an opinion on the entire book if you haven't finished it. But you can have an opinion on what you've read. And life is far too short to just read books you're not enjoying.
What's your DNF, we call it in the booktube world? Yeah. What's your DNF rate, would you say? How many DNFs are you doing a month?
I think I've got to the stage where I'm really good at picking books myself.
I've only DNF'd 2 books this year, and they're book club books, like books that I haven't picked.
Yeah. And I think maybe not the only one. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's a few. And the ones that I've DNF'd, that wasn't a good sentence. Most of the ones that I've DNF'd are from prize lists. If I'm doing a whole like long list reading.
Yeah, I DNF'd Pod. Did you give Pod a go? I know Line Pod. Did you DNF Pod?
Yeah, it's not for me.
No.
And I did say if it makes the shortlist, I will give it another shot, and I did, and it's still.
Oh, you did give it another shot?
Yeah.
Well done you.
But no, I respect it. but it's not for me.
Did you read The Bees?
No.
I slogged through The Bees, so I went into it thinking, I don't know if this is going to be my thing. I feel like I've really spoke about this so much recently, so this is very repetitive. The second part is, what makes you stop reading a book?
If I put it down and I don't feel the urge to pick it back up again. If it is exploring topics that I don't want to read about, like if there's a lot of, let's call it trauma porn, I'm not a fan. Yeah, I just, if I'm not enjoying it, and that might be because of the writing style or the character development, or the pacing, there are just so many factors. I just know in my gut now it's got to the stage where I'm like, okay, this is not for me right now.
Do you star rate off card now? Do you star rate your books? Do you give them? Oh, okay. Because I do, not publicly, but do it in my little notebook, and I find that I don't have so many sort of 3-star books as much anymore, because not so much because I DNF, just because I feel like I want something to be really good. And like I mean I still read an awful lot, but I want, if I'm dedicating a lot of time to things.
Basically we're spoiled brats now, right?
Yeah, I guess we are, and I think it is this time of year, because as much as I love the Women's Prize and reading all the books on the long list and the short list, like this is my high intensity 2 to 3 star period, because I think, well, I may as well finish it. Like I sort of slogged through Demon Copperhead, both text and audio, and gave that 2 stars. And really that would have been a DNF if it hadn't been on the long list. Short list now.
I really think it's going to win.
I think it's going to win.
Yeah.
I think it's going to win. And I can't quite put my finger on for why, because I didn't love it. So many people though, when I put my review up, everyone was like, this is the best book I've read this year, it's the best book I've read in ages. But yeah.
I think on a sentence-based level, it's brilliant. I didn't think personally it could sustain itself the length that it was. That's how I ended up feeling about it. So again, one of those books where I'm like, I really respect you, but we're just not going to be bosom pals. That's alright.
You don't have to be bosom pals with everyone, do you?
No.
We've had such a lovely walk. We've seen, I mean, I'll see how much footage I'm inserting. Just ate a bit of tree there. We've bluebells. It's deer galore here. We're going now to have a little cup of tea. Maybe a slice of cake if they've got one. So Jenna's kindly just given me half of a Mars bar, which was delicious. I don't think I've had a Mars bar in years. It was so nice. And then we're going to nip to a bookshop, aren't we? What bookshop is it?
Sevenoaks Bookshop.
Oh, I passed it on the way. Yes, their high street's lovely. Anything in the market for?
No, I want to see what they've got on their tables, you know, what they're recommending. I use bookshops very differently to how I like buy from a bookshop online. I want to go in and see.
Be wooed.
Yeah, I do.
I want to be wooed. I'd quite like to buy Death of a Bookseller, because
I've seen they have that.
Oh, good. Okay. Because I thought I'd pre-ordered it from bookseller.org, but nothing arrived. And I can't find an email that said so I was like, it'll be here soon. So I would like to buy that. If they've got that, I will buy that.
Exciting.
I'm excited for it.
Right. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I've got moss on my bum.
Woo. What a day. Oh my God, it's boiling in here. I've had such a, I can't angle that anymore. I've had such a lovely day of walking and chatting with Jen. No reading done though, but I'm about to drive home now for what I imagine to be an hour and a half, maybe.
People need to be frustrated.
Excuse me. Oh, I've got to get fuel as well.
All of it. I don't know how long this rain will last.
So let's do all of that, and I'll see you either back at home or probably back at home. We're also going to the cinema, so I need to sort all that out as well. Right, bye! Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm wrapping the video up here as I derobe and get ready for bed. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it was 20 to 11, made me feel things. So the last few Marvel films I've seen, not felt things. This, if anything, maybe made me feel a little bit too much. I didn't stop crying the whole time. I will say there's a lot of animal cruelty in there. It's Rocket's backstory. You know Rocket, the raccoon, who's voiced by Bradley Cooper. And his backstory involves a lot of animal testing. And I did not enjoy that at all, and that's why I was crying. But there was also some sort of like touching moments towards the end. But yeah, quite enjoyed it. In fact, David, I must say, I didn't even think, oh, what time is it, or anything like that.
Nice.
So,
That's good.
yeah. What's he gasping at now?
That Rye Lane's on Disney Plus.
Right. Oh, good.
Amazing.
David and I both want to watch Rye Lane. Right, so anyway, trousers off, but with a poem. Thank you for joining me on my Friday reading vlog today. Went elsewhere, didn't I? Going elsewhere next weekend as well, guys. Not the week after, but those two. We're going to wrap this all up now. So, the question, which I did give some of my thoughts on earlier when Jen was here, but these are my full thoughts. The question was, do you finish every book you start? What makes you stop reading a book? My answer is no, I do not finish every book I start. I am getting better at not, so I call it DNFing, that's what the YouTube community calls it. I am getting better because I'm quite good at picking what books. It would feel weird to take my pants off, so I will stand with no, I've got my pants on still. Yeah, I'm better at picking what books I actually like now, so I very rarely DNF a book. They're normally books that I'm reading for a book club or, like we said earlier, literary prize, but I'm very happy to not finish a whole book. And what makes you stop reading a book? Much the same as Jen, really, sort of like disengagement, not wanting to pick it up. Fat phobia is something that I really, really abhor in books, so that will make me stop reading a book if a book is fat phobia. Sometimes I give it a little chance because I think, okay, we'll let that one go, but let's see what else there is. But I actually made a whole book about what makes me, I actually wrote a whole book on this. I actually made a whole video on this, and I will link that video down below of why I might DNF a book. So go and check that out. But interested to hear your answer to, do you finish every book you start? What makes you stop reading a book? Like I said earlier when we were looking at my reading challenge, the only prize I could have given myself today was if I read in a location I haven't read before, and I did not. I didn't pick out this book out of my bag. Oh, that's not true. I got it out of my bag to show Jen because I said she'd really like it, and she is gonna read it. But I didn't read anything, and I listened to an hour of The Phone Box at the End of the Lane and like 10 minutes of oh my god, what's it called? What is it called? In the Blink of an Eye. Got there. Remembered it before I saw it. So yeah. But the poem, what's the date today? 5th of May. Let's have a look. So we've got Clouds, which is originally by Matsuo Basho and translated by Robert Hass. Or we've got The Song of the Banana Man by Evan Jones. Let's go for a translated one. It's a haiku. Here we go. Haiku. Very quick, short and sweet. From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. Oh, that took me by surprise how much I enjoyed that last line. As it was so short, we'll have it again for the second time. From time to time, the clouds give rest to the moon beholders. Beautiful. Another success story of the day is that I've done 20,975 steps. By the time I brush my teeth, I'm going to be at 21,000. I'm flying high. I'm flying high like the wind. Part of me was hoping that I would just finish the vlog then. And you'd all be like, oh, she's finished on that. But I'll finish now and say thanks for tuning in. That's my pants. And I'll see you all again soon for another butcher video. Goodbye.